Hi, welcome to HeKate's Crossing. So let's have a look at day 2 of today's reading. Let's have a look at the cards that I get. And what I want to do today, now yesterday was really quick, it was an introduction, it was just sort of a really sort of starting point in working with the cards. And working with the cards in a really, really simple way. And just give me a minute. There's the cards there. Why do I always forget my glasses? I think this is going to be a running thing on these videos. As always, where's Paula's glasses? Can she see? Right, so what do we need to reflect upon today? What do we need to reflect upon? Oh, I felt that. Pull out. First card is what would normally be what we would call the Wheel of Fortune, but it's actually called Aunt Caroline. So that's number 10, Aunt Caroline. So what else do we need to reflect on today? There we have Son of Sticks has pulled out, which is interesting. Okay. I think this card on top, which is the Eight of Knives. Not worried too much about the other cards. I think it's just those three to start with. I don't feel like there's anything else. Let's see if there's anything else that we need to sort of think about. Oops, yes, there's an Eight of Baskets. Okay, so we've got 4 cards today that we need to sort of look at together, and what do they actually mean, which is interesting. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, or Aunt Caroline, should I say, Aunt Caroline. So let's have a look and see what Aunt Caroline actually means. Now the plant is hickory. Now the image is Aunt Caroline standing in the doorway of her home in Newport, surrounded by reporters. Caroline Dye, 1843 to 1918, aka Aunt Caroline, was born into slavery in South Carolina before being relocated along with her parents to Arkansas. After being freed in 1865, she married and began her work as a cartomancer. Playing cards were her specialty. Aunt Caroline had been aware of her psychic gifts as a child, and she quickly earned a reputation as an effective and reliable counselor. Her clients were racially diverse, and it was not uncommon to see entire train cars of people disembarking in Newport to seek out her services. Aunt Caroline was industrious too. She sold meals to the crowds of people who awaited her, and she invested in land and property with the money she earned. There is also a legend that she buried a cache of gold somewhere in the area. After her death, many people tried to find the treasure but were unsuccessful. Aunt Caroline's skill and amazing rag-to-riches stories are 2 reasons why she became a legend. When Aunt Caroline appears in a reading, it is an indication that fate is a factor regarding whatever you're inquiring about. Rack your brain about who, about you or someone else, could have done differently if you like, but the truth is that everything turned out exactly how it was supposed to. This can be a very hard pill to swallow in an age when people want to believe their thoughts or choices also dictate outcomes. The existence of a greater plan is not a welcome concept today, because it implies vulnerability, which is automatically translated to weakness in the minds of many. We are used to images of people casually walking away in slow motion from explosions, or crashing through windows without a scratch. We want them to be indestructible, unflappable people too, but this is not the movies. We know in real life that those characters most likely would have died in that raging inferno, and the window crasher would have been blinded or cut to ribbons. The audience likes that these things didn't occur. They like the implication that the characters escaped, or was cooler than what fate had planned for them. Aunt Caroline teaches us that this way of thinking is a fantasy. No one can escape their fate, and incidents are no accidents. She also teaches us to expect the unexpected. This card may also be trying to tell you that to understand why things are happening or why they turned out the way they did, you must consider the big picture. Have you thought about turning that unexpected incident into its opportunity? This was fated. When one door closes, another one opens. Was it really an accident? Your luck is about to change. You don't like change? Tough shit it's about to. We're all just players in one big chess game. Do you really think this is all about you? Get out of your own way. Why were you born? Why are you here? Miracles happen every day. Do you respect the cycle of life? How do you feel about getting older? That's a good question. How do I feel about getting older? Oh, that's something I might have to reflect on. Ooh, okay, because that really hit me then. Okay. Now it's the Son of Sticks. Let's have a look at the Son of Sticks. Okay, Son of Sticks, let's have a look. Okay, your plant is burdock. Image. The Son of Sticks shows off his six-fingered left hand as he triumphantly holds up a stick with his right one. He is not ashamed of being polydactyl. In fact, he's proud of it. Polydactylism, dark Mongolian spots, webbed fingers and toes, and being born with a caul over one's face were the physical signs that indicated a natural talent for root working. The Son of Sticks' ability to do highly effective crossing work, hexes, is evident by the fact that the extra digit is on his left hand. The left hand has long been associated with the deeper mysteries, the devil or black magic, depending on who you ask. The salamander and the red pygmy rattlesnake symbolize the sun's power. Oh, I saw the red snake and wondered what that was. Saw the red pygmy. Okay, I get that now. That all symbolizes the power, the abilities that that this person may have. So this may be talking about, yes, I'm getting older, maybe things are not as they, it's about an acceptance of things as they are. It could be about looking at one's own power. Okay, the Son of Sticks represents youthful vigour. On the positive side, he is loyal, idealistic, creative, enthusiastic, solution-based, fearless, independent, and loves to learn. I do love to learn. I do love to learn. He's unreliable, pushy, indecisive, confused, selfish, lazy, a real doubter who always prefers to discuss and emphasise anything and unpleasant. If he doesn't represent a little person with these qualities, then he represents those attributes. So it could be about me loving to learn, could be about a sense of being idealistic, creative, enthusiastic. I do like to find solutions to stuff. I am independent. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Knives. Okay, let's have a look at this. Plant is star anise. A man stands in the middle of a crossroads with two knives stuck in the ground at the entrance of each pathway. Crossroads are considered powerful places where the physical and spiritual worlds meet. So it does talk about believing in yourself again, being empowered thinking, the removal of obstacles, escape from bondage, acquittal, being productive, a much needed release, ceasing to be your own worst enemy, liberating oneself from a victim mentality, renewed hope, and finding a way out of your predicament. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, empowered thinking. Okay, that talks about being able to break free from the restraints that you feel you're in at this time. So then we have Eight of Baskets. That's interesting. We have two eights. Eight of Baskets. Okay, so let me have a look at Eight of Baskets. The plant is cactus. A man is seen walking away from a house. He is obviously an unwelcome visitor, as someone has placed hot foot powder on the porch to keep him away. There are many different recipes for hot foot powder, but the most common ones usually include pepper, salt, and sulfur. Positive meanings becoming independent, moving on, leaving the past behind, trying to find oneself, retreat, I'm in a retreat, relocating, abandoning all that you have outgrown, and seekers of truth. Wow, that's really given me some stuff to really, when you start looking at the book, because I'm doing self-development, right? I'm doing self-looking at what's actually going on. So I've got to explore all of these aspects in all of these cards, because I want to discover more about what's important to me. Okay, so I'm really looking at what's actually going on for me in a way. So I'm going to go through and actually write up these thoughts in a bit more depth and actually start looking at what's important. So let me have a look. We looked at yesterday's cards. Yesterday's cards were about doubt and synthesis, the death, the transformations and things that are going on, that are feeling defensive and transformation, right? So let's have a look. Oh, okay, card that's tipped over is talking about confusion. So maybe at this time there is a sense of confusion. Okay, that's the copper card. Okay. Okay, this one's definite. The black. And this one is the mysteries. So this is about connecting to the mysteries of what's going on. Okay. Here we have justice, seems really important. And we have rage. And we have optimism. So let's see what cards, let's have a look at the back of the cards. Excuse me. Excuse me. I hope that wasn't too loud. So let's have a look here. I've got copper but not red. It was just my thumb. Okay, so the red card here. Okay, so I've got a few cards to sort of look at. That flipped out, right? Okay, so the three cards in the copper, I think they sort of read one message. So we have a sense of confusion going on. Maybe I'm dealing with some internal rage as well. I'm sort of feeling a bit, not necessarily like an extreme sense, but I think it bubbles down. There does seem to be a sense of wanting justice for whatever's going on. It seems of wanting to find some balance, wanting to find maybe a sense of truth out of what's actually going on. Right. Here we have the mysteries, which seem important. Here we have the optimism, about being optimistic, you know, being positive in what you want. So you're trying to deal with everything that's going on around you, and yes, there's some anger, there's some, you know, a sense of rage with what's going on, maybe some confusion, you know, why are people acting the way they do, what's actually going on, maybe I need, you know, maybe I feel like there should be some justice for what's actually happening. I need to actually connect to my own mystery, my own spirituality, maybe connecting to the cards as a help for me to explore this on a deeper level. It is hard to try and be positive in the situation, as transcendence to me is about moving out of that rage and that anger and being able to move into a more at peace sort of sense, if you know what I mean. So these are cards that I'm going to really have to explore further, I think, as I look at how acceptance of what's actually going on, using my own power, this is the Mysteries card, I think is really, really clear with that, and being able to break free from the chains. And I love the way that these cards, I think, really connect in many ways. And the Eight of Baskets to me is very much about this sense of transcendence, about this independence, about moving away from what's actually been going on. So here I am with Aunt Caroline, I think, very much in tune with this. Son of Six, very connected to the Mysteries card. The Eight of Knives, very connected to the optimism card, you know, being optimistic in our ways. Eight of Baskets really connects with this here. So this is really amazing the way these connect in a reading. So I really need to explore that over the next 24 hours anyway, and really see, what does this mean to me? What is it, you know, what does it mean? Why am I dealing with these emotions? You know, why am I feeling the way I do? You know, and the importance is my own spirituality, the way I use my own skills and my own abilities to be able to move away or get out of that feeling of being restrained, to change my viewpoint, if you like, or my perception, or how I choose to react. More about how I choose to react, I think, is more important. I think that's going to make a big, big difference. So this is really, really interesting. So that's it with the Hoodoo Tarot and the Sibyls Oraculum from HeKate's Crossing. Take care. Don't forget to check the links below. Check the links on my channel. Please like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care and blessed be.